I am Maria Garcia de Fleury. All of us can find the essential meaning of Christmas in the prologue of the Gospel of St. John. John begins by saying, "In the beginning was the Word." No first century Jew would have missed the meaning of that opening phrase because the first word of the Hebrew scriptures, Bereshit, means precisely beginning. The word says that from the beginning there was God, and in fact, He was God. Whenever we use words, we express something about ourselves. For example, when you talk to a friend, you're telling them how you feel. When a referee calls out a decision, he's communicating how he has evaluated a play, and so on. But God, by the mere fact of being perfect, creator of the universe, is able to speak for himself in a great word which contains not simply one aspect of his being, but the entirety of his being. That is why we say that the word is God from God, light from light, true God from true God. And that is why St. John says that the word was God. Then he says that through this word all things came into being. The being of God necessarily contains the fullness of rationality and order, for it is the mind of God. Precisely for this reason, the universe is not there at random, but intelligibly, and is marked by reasonableness. This mystical theology of creation through the Word is one of the conditions for the physical sciences to be possible, since every science must assume the intelligibility of what he investigates. Next, the Gospel speaks of a man sent by God, whose name was John. John the Baptist came as a witness to speak of the light, because he himself was not the light. Since creation, God has sent messengers, spokespersons. Let us think of all the prophets and patriarchs of Israel. In fact, every sage, philosopher, artist, poet, who has communicated something of the truth and beauty of God could be characterized as witnesses of the light. Now, the one to whom the Baptist testifies is someone qualitatively different, not just another bearer of the word, but the word itself. The prologue goes on to say that he was in the world that existed through him, and that the world did not know him. In this phrase, we perceive the entire tragedy of sin. Human beings were made by and for God, and therefore they find their joy by being in tune with God. Sin is the disharmony that arises when we forget, we distance ourselves from God, and we are not aligned with God. Then this gospel gives incomparably good news and says, "But to those who accept him, he gave power to become children of God." It is a basic principle of nature that nothing at a lower level of being can rise to a higher level unless it is dragged upward. The fathers of the church taught that God became human, approached us, and became the Son of Man so that humans could become God. That is, participants in the divine nature. And that is what we celebrate at Christmas, the presence of God in our midst. And friends, with God, we always win.